a once tropical paradise, Antarctica is now covered by a massive ice sheet spanning 98% of its surface. Since it had been rediscovered in 1911, this southernmost landmass became a subject of intrigue worldwide, with world's superpowers showing an unprecedented desire to preserve this desolate land. 1 year after the Chinese detailed mapping of the region in 2005, NASA scientists announced their satellites had detected a huge electromagnetic anomaly buried beneath the frozen coat of ice. Preserved under the Wilkes Land Antarctic region, the gravity anomaly, as it has been dubbed, stretches for about 151 miles beneath the ice and has a depth of about 2,800 feet. So far, the best scientific hypothesis that has been put forward is that a colossal object, most probably a meteorite twice the size as the one that had wiped the dinosaurs millions of years ago, is sitting in the middle of a 300 miles wide impact crater. This is to say, a bold and hard to prove idea, yet it's enough to comfort those seeking the best scientific explanation. For those of you not relying on NASA for a straight answer, we have a different story to tell. A meaningful story that had been kept away from us for thousands and thousands of years. Here's what they don't want us to know. This year, on March 14, an intricate article was published by Israeli News Live entitled "The Fallen Angels Imprisoned in Antarctica and Are Still Alive." Commentator Steve Ben Nunn shared some intriguing passages from the forbidden Book of Enoch, which, believe it or not, subtly refers to Antarctica as the land where the fallen angels had been imprisoned by God in remote times.
Something that I discovered recently written in the Book of Enoch, and we're going to even be looking at some articles that have been considered, well, some might say it's fake news, some might say it's satire. Regardless of the case, there may be some very truth to it, and this is why I wanted to talk to you about these things. Antarctica has really become a major subject in recent, well, in fact, in the last year, even more so. There's been every kind of conspiracy theory that it is a place for a massive alien base. This is where aliens go at. We know of the one of the former military officers, Byrd, who fought a conflict near Antarctica and lost a lot of men, claiming that there were flying discs, flying saucers coming out of the Antarctica, and just there's all kinds of evidence that is legitimate evidence that clearly seems to show that the Antarctica is certainly a base of some sort. The Germans also, under Adolf Hitler, had a base down at Antarctica. There's all kinds of things that are going on in this region of the world. As you can see on your screen now, this is the Book of Enoch. I was reading in the first Book of Enoch, chapter 18, and this is where the angel Uriel is taking Enoch and showing him some very interesting things. We go down to say verse 4 and begin there. It says, "And I saw the winds which turned the sky and caused the disk of the sun and all the stars to set. And I saw the winds on the earth which support the clouds. And I saw the path of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of heaven above. And I went towards the south." Okay, so he goes to the end of the earth. And he speaks about going towards the south. "And it was burning day and night, where there were 7 mountains of precious stones, and 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south."
Enoch was the great-great-grandfather of Noah, the 7th generation of humans after Adam. He played an intermediary role between the fallen angels that had rebelled against the Lord and the righteous angels who served and did the Creator's bidding. Angels totaling 200 descended from the heavens and took women of their choosing, interbreeding with them and giving birth to a race of giant humanoids known as the Nephilim. The corrupted angels further taught humanity various tricks and crafts, and soon the earth became reddened from the blood of its creatures. War broke loose, and the natural order of things came to an end. And Azazel taught men to make swords, and knives, and shields, and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth, and the art of working them, and bracelets, and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Semiaza taught enchantments, and root cuttings, Armaros the resolving of enchantments, Baragial taught astrology, Kokabel the constellations, Ezekiel the knowledge of the clouds, Aragiel the signs of the earth, Shamsiel the signs of the sun, and Sariel the course of the moon. And as men perished, they cried, and their cry went up to heaven. This episode in human history culminated with a heavenly battle. Righteous angels fought against the corrupted ones, and the latter were defeated. As punishment, the Lord had cast them away in Tartarus, and there is reason to believe this prison is located somewhere in Antarctica. Due to the successful role Enoch played in this conflict, together with his untainted nature, the Creator spared him of his earthly demise and took him directly into the heavens to witness the forthcoming events. Enoch's words are very suggestive, hinting at Antarctica as the spot where the corrupt angels were confined. And I saw the wind on the earth which supports the clouds, and I saw the path of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of heaven above, and I went towards the south, and it was burning day and night, where there were 7 mountains of precious stones, 3 towards the east, and 3 towards the south. And those towards the east were of colored stone, and one was of pearl, and one of healing stone, and those towards the south of red stone, and the middle one reached to heaven, like the throne of the Lord of Stibium, and the top of the throne was of sapphire. The second passage describes Enoch's journey south, where he witnessed a curious phenomenon where the sky was burning day and night. This could be interpreted as the southern hemisphere summer season in Antarctica, where there is daylight for 24 hours. The burning sky phenomenon refers to the aurora australis, or the southern lights, which are visible from high southern latitudes in Antarctica, Australia, New Zealand, Chile, and Argentina. Regarding the 7 mountains, Mount Vinson qualifies as the central mountain described by Enoch, as it is the highest in Antarctica. It does indeed have 6 other adjacent peaks, but they don't match the alignment depicted unless we shift Earth's axis of rotation. The pole shift hypothesis speaks of rapid shifts in the relative positions of the modern-day geographic locations of the poles and the axis of rotation of the Earth, thus triggering calamities such as floods and tectonic events. According to the research conducted by Sir Charles Hapgood, such brisk changes were a common occurrence in Earth's history, and proposes that the last pole shift had happened about 11,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. Was this the time when the biblical deluge took place? Was Antarctica transformed from a habitable land into a frozen, inhospitable desert of ice as a result of this pole shift? Were the corrupt angels imprisoned at the summit of the iconic Mount Vinson in the Antarctic Sentinel Range? Or maybe where the Wilkes Land anomaly is located? It is still unclear based on the above clues, but dots are slowly joining. The locations of the above-mentioned sites don't overlap, but they both present a veritable riddle awaiting to be solved. From what we know from the Book of Enoch, the angels are still alive and struggling someplace underground until the time of the redemption. The Book of Enoch further reads, "And like a spirit questioning me, the angel said, 'This is the place of the end of heaven and earth. This is the prison for the stars of heaven and the host of heaven. And the stars which roll over the fire, these are the ones which transgressed the command of the Lord from the beginning of their rising, because they did not come out at their proper times. And he was angry with them, and bound them until the time of the consummation of their sin, in the year of mystery." With this last passage in mind, it could be that Antarctica's riddles are too complex to unfold, and are instead awaiting this mystery year to arrive. Its frozen prisoners shall return to this land to wash their sins in the battle with the evil that is to come.